Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence, and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate your time and your support. It means a lot. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at the newest fragrance by the company Tom Ford. This is one of their private blend releases, and this one is called Tubereuse Nue. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Tubereuse Nue, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews here on YouTube, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, special guests, interviews, and pretty much anything having to do with fragrances, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner, and of course, while you're at it, please be sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. This way, whenever I do put out these videos, they will get delivered straight to your feed. You never need to worry about missing any of my future uploads. So when I found out that there was a new Tom Ford private blend coming out, of course I knew I had to purchase it, as I did with Bitter Peach and pretty much every Tom Ford private blend that I had the opportunity to smell beforehand and really resonated with me, I ended up purchasing it. In the case of this one, however, this was a blind buy, admittedly so, and while I'm not the biggest fan of tuberose and fragrances, there was something about this note breakdown with the cacao and the pepper. It just seemed like it could be a unisex tuberose, and so I pulled the trigger, if you will. I made the purchase, and at the very least, I'm happy to have this one in my collection, because if it's not something that I would personally wear, I know my wife would be more than likely to wear it, because it does smell a little bit youthful and feminine, but it also packs a punch. And so Tubereuse Nue, Nue means naked in French, and so think of naked tuberose. And of course, this kind of falls in line with the other salaciously titled and provocative titles of Tom Ford private blends like Lost Cherry, Effing Fabulous, Bitter Peach, so on and so forth. So this is the newest fragrance, and I'm excited to tell you about the smell. Let's take a close look at the presentation. So as soon as this fragrance opens up, you are going to get this really starchy tuberose. It's this really strong and powerful, clean white floral dominating heart that you're really going to perceive from the opening. And it drives the entire personality of the fragrance through to the base. So this is a very long-lasting floral heart that you're going to get in here. And for me, the tuberose lasts on my skin like 6, 7, 8 hours. It lasts a very, very long time. Now, I know that there are some other floral ingredients in here. There's a bit of a tropical feel in here, something that I would equate to the smell of ylang ylang. But my attention was really fixated on the pepper and the cacao. So I'm thinking to myself, there's going to be a sweet component to this fragrance, and I don't believe that whatever cacao is in here is adding any sweetness to the blend, but I feel like it's adding a powdery quality to the blend. And so like I mentioned before, the tuberose is coming across very starchy, very full, and it has a very unique texture to it, and I feel like the cacao is really working hand in hand with the tuberose to sort of create that vibe. Now, I was also smelling it and trying to pick up on something that's a little bit peppery or a little bit spicy. I'm not really getting that per se, but what I can probably say is that it's very well blended into the fragrance, and so it doesn't seem like the tuberose is trying to go in a bunch of different directions. It definitely has this very extroverted, very outspoken, and va-va-voom quality about it. And I would venture to say, if there's a confident woman, especially if she's looking for a fragrance that would be really suitable for a formal occasion, if she's going to be wearing one of her finest dresses, she wants to wear the olfactory accessory to match. And I feel like there's something about this DNA that will really get you noticed. And I feel like the florals that are in here are used in such an uncompromising way where they really make their presence known and they come across loud and clear. And so I was thinking about that naked tuberose, that Tubereuse Nue that's used in this fragrance. And I feel like that Nue translates to organic or natural. And so it doesn't feel like it's dressed, decorated, or overshadowed by any other ingredients, but it's really given the opportunity to shine. And so if you're familiar with the smell of tuberose, sometimes for me it can kind of be like a cross between iris and jasmine, where it kind of has like those clean white floral tendencies, but there's also like this waxy and sometimes starchy quality about it. And that's exactly what I'm getting in here. So if you are a fan of floral fragrances, if you like fragrances in the vein of other tuberose dominant fragrances, I know there's one called Tubereuse Nue Capricious by Histoire de Parfum. That one is a little bit more on the lipsticky side because it has a little bit more iris in it. But if you are familiar with a lot of other very feminine leaning tuberose smelling fragrances, I think you're more than likely going to enjoy this one quite a bit. And I really like this one. I find it to be a very unique aroma, very uncompromising and unapologetic in terms of how loud it is. And so it definitely makes its presence known, like I said before, and the performance on it is also impeccable. So let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I really tried to compare this fragrance to some other fragrances that I've smelled, but the utilization of the various ingredients in here, I feel like they're combined in a new blend, something that I haven't really smelled before. So I can't really make a direct or explicit comparison to anything else. But if you are familiar with the smell of tuberose and you have an appreciation for tuberose-based fragrances, I think you're really going to appreciate this one because the tuberose comes across very natural and very organic smelling as well. In terms of the longevity, 9 hours on my skin, it lasts a very, very, very long time, which was surprising to me, but it kind of has like this clean, woodsy, musky base that really extends the freshness and starchiness of the tuberose. And the projection was phenomenal for like the first 2 hours of application. It didn't start to sit closer to the skin until about that 6.5 to 7 hour mark. And again, it completely died out by that 9th hour. So the performance is very good. Versatility, I do think it leans a little bit feminine, and I say that only because it's classically and traditionally feminine. Whenever you think of floral ingredients or floral dominant perfumes, people typically tend to associate them with feminine smells, and so make of that what you will. Of course, I consider all fragrances to be unisex, but I do think it leans traditionally feminine. I feel like this one gives off more of a floral vibe, one, because of the power of the smell, but two, because of the price tag. So it's probably not one that people would want to wear casually unless you have money like that. I know a lot of us don't, right? In terms of the presentation, I think it looks really nice. I think the color of the bottle really matches the vibe of the aroma. So my final verdict on the brand new Tubereuse Nue by Tom Ford is, if you are a fan of floral fragrances, and I mean fragrances that are unapologetically floral, if you like fragrances that are dominant with a note of tuberose and fragrances that will really stand out, pop on your skin, give you stellar longevity, you're not afraid to rock your floral fragrances, definitely check this one out. I think you will really enjoy it. And this is one that, although I probably won't be wearing it as often as I'd be wearing like my Oud Wood or Tobacco Vanille or Noir de Noir, I can see my wife wearing this one because she does have an appreciation for these types of scents. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate your time and your viewership. That was my fragrance review of the brand new Tubereuse Nue by Tom Ford. If you own or have tried this fragrance, please let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe for future videos. And all you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. This way, whenever I do put out these videos, they will get delivered straight to your feed. And also make sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. Thanks again for watching. Love you all. We'll see you soon. Bye.